Welcome to At the Table with Chef Jay, the podcast where we believe that every meal has a story and every story has a seat at the table. I'm your host, Chef Jay, and today we embark on a culinary journey through the heartwarming realm of cherished memories and delectable dishes. In each episode, we dive into the nostalgic world of our guests' favorite childhood foods, from the aroma of Grandma's kitchen to the sizzle of a beloved family recipe. We're here to unravel the tales behind the taste that linger in our hearts. Today's guest is Moncks Corner-based podcaster Danny FOXWORTH. He'll be preparing one of his favorite dishes, shrimp and grits, which is one of my husband's favorites, okay? Could you share with us the story behind this dish? And it's just an honor to have you. When I first met you, I said, oh, you got to be on my podcast. And kind of find out you enjoy my podcast. And I want to thank you for that. And so we support each other by following each other on their podcast and just being supporting that way. So we encourage you to do the same. So tell us a little bit about the dish that you're going to prepare, and who's in memory of who taught you how to do it, and all the good things you want to share.
Okay, well, first off, thank you so much for having me. This is like a dream come true. I've been such a fan of your YouTube channel.
Thank you so much.
So how I fell in love with shrimp and grits is, first time I had it, I was about 9 years old, and my Uncle Carl prepared it for me. I spent the weekend at his house with his, just playing with his cousins. And so one Saturday morning, he's like, you ready for breakfast? He's like, sure. So he's like, I'm going to make shrimp and grits. And my 9-year-old brain couldn't put the two things together because I've had grits,
right.
I've had shrimp, but just not together. And the way he prepared it, my mind was so blown. And since I had that, once I got the itch to start cooking, it's like I was just chasing the dragon. Like I had to get my shrimp and grits like my Uncle Carl's. Right. So that's how my
story.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's amazing how our grandmother and our mothers and dad, the story of an uncle impacting his life. I love that, because a lot of times we think it's always like, say, as a parent, but uncles can have so much impact on our children's life, and I just want to thank you for sharing that. And tell me your uncle's name.
Uncle Carl.
Uncle Carl.
Carl Busby.
Okay, is he still in Moncks Corner?
Oh, he actually lives in North Carolina now.
Oh, good. What part?
Out in Raleigh.
Oh, good. I love Raleigh area. It's so nice.
Yeah, me too.
The food is good and the shopping is great.
Mm-hmm.
So this shows how we're going to prepare this dish.
Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is add the bacon to the pan. And once we get the bacon cooked and get the bacon fat out of the bacon, and once the bacon is cooked, we're going to remove the bacon, and then we're going to add the shrimp and let the shrimp cook in that bacon fat, and then we'll add garlic and we'll add some of this butter right here to it.
I know that butter kind of seasoned a little bit.
Mm-hmm. I saw it in the store. It was garlic and it was basil and something else. So I was like, oh, that's
flavor. Yes.
I was like, oh, that's fancy. Let me try that.
I love it, I tell you. And believe it or not, myself and my daughter have made the seasoned bacon. The seasoned butter.
Really?
Yeah. You put the herbs in and you let it kind of get room temperature and mix it up and make it on.
So what kind of herbs and seasonings do you typically use?
Rosemary. You can do basil. We've done thyme. You can do mint. And I'm an herb lady, but I'm a farmer. So I grow all my different herbs.
Yeah, my mom's the same way.
Really good. I love it. What do you like that she grow mostly?
Rosemary.
Oh, yeah.
Rosemary and basil.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you can put it in the butter to get it soft and tender.
Oh, yeah.
That bacon smelling good.
It does.
I can smell real good.
Yeah.
So I tell people I like that. I like the smelling great food. Those aromas and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I actually have a question for you.
Sure.
So what's a food that you disliked as a kid that you now like as an adult?
Like Queen was saying before, vegetables. So I didn't like turnips or collard greens.
Mm-hmm.
I love them. And they're almost like a gold to me because they're so nutritious. That's a great question. They're so nutritious, so I love greens. That's my favorite.
Okay, and how about the opposite? What's something that you loved as a kid but no longer like as an adult?
Oh, I got a very big palate. So when I say that, I have a array of things that I don't like. I don't like kind of like, we went to an event and they had raw oysters. Mm-hmm. And so I don't like raw oysters.
Really?
That's the only thing I cannot think of. You eat raw oysters?
I love raw cooked. Any way you prepare them, I'm eating them.
Now, are y'all able to find those down in Moncks Corner on the water or anything?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Hey. Yeah.
Yeah.
I went to the event with Chef. He's a James Beard winner.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, oysters was the first appetizer. I ate it because I'm that type of person that I don't, if I go to somebody's house and I don't like something, I don't complain. I just eat whatever they have.
Right. Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah, but yeah, I enjoy the oysters, but it's just the texture. And I'm not so much a texture person, but my husband laughed because he didn't like that. And you know what? I picked that up in culinary school. When I was in culinary school, the school that I went to, it was in New York, and it was so diverse. And so all of the people from all over the world, France, China, Thailand. And so I befriended this young lady that was, she was Thailand. And she told me this right here. She said that when they go to someone's house, and they don't eat pork, but if the person is serving pork, that's disrespectful to be that way. You know, I don't know if you ever had a person walk in the house and say, well, I don't like this, I don't eat this. I don't know if you've experienced that. I have.
Yeah.
Just don't say anything. Just don't eat what you don't like. You know what I'm saying? Or if you have a palate that's not, that you don't like different things like people's food, come already full.
That's a good strategy. You know, I never thought about that. That's a great strategy.
Just go ahead and eat before you go. My husband looked like, what the world going on over here? Yeah.
So are there any foods that are on your no list?
Oh, that's a good question. Squid is on my no list.
Okay.
I don't like anything that's kind of rubber. And also, I'm very visual.
Oh.
So it's got to look delicious and it's got to look beautiful for me to eat it.
Fair enough.
Yeah, so that's one of the things that I always say. Make sure it's good. Well, how about you?
Oh, my no list, I'd say onions, bell peppers, and bananas.
What? Onions and bell peppers? That is so interesting. Now, okay, I'm going to tell you a story.
Okay.
When my daughter was little, the fastest thing for us to get out of the house was a banana. So I would grab a banana almost every day running out the door. She hates bananas now.
Really?
Yeah, so that's the story behind the bananas.
I think because I ate bananas so much as a child, and now as an adult, I tried one maybe a month ago. I was like, oh, I can't do it. It's just like how you were with the oysters. The texture is just, I couldn't, it was hard to do.
Well, they are things that we learn in the culinary world. People, that's why I'm very visual, and I smell that's very intense. Those two were really, really good. Because when we eat with our eyes first, a lot of times.
That's a good point.
And then a lot of times what we do, texture. So even the children now, the younger children are more texture sensitive. So they may not eat it because it don't look right, or if the texture's not right.
Right.
So those are two valid things to have. So it's okay that you don't like the banana because the texture ain't right.
I'll tell you another one that gets me because of the texture is cheesecake.
Really?
Yeah.
So you don't like anything kind of soft and mushy like almost, is that right?
I did as a kid. I don't know what happened to me. I don't know if it was my palate developing or just like building up some kind of like intolerance for it. But yeah, because I used to love cheesecake as a kid, but now I was just like, man.
Did you eat too much of it when you were school?
I might have. I might have.
Oh, that's funny.
Because mom was like, I got cheesecake, come over. And I tried it. I'm like, more for y'all.
What's your favorite dessert then?
My favorite dessert, pineapple upside down cake.
Okay, I'm gonna have to make one more.
That is my absolute favorite. It was red velvet for the longest time, but a friend of mine made me a pineapple upside down cake for my birthday, and I've just been smitten from the word go.
That is so interesting because at my cooking camps, we teach children about different countries. And I'm gonna have to research that, but by what I can remember, pineapple upside down cake was originated in France.
Really?
Yeah, I thought it was very interesting.
I never knew that.
So we cook, that's what they cook in one of the camps. They cook upside down pineapple cake.
Wow.
So I'm big on history. So I like to know where food come from and who originated it. Because every food has a story. And it begins from some place, you know.
You're right.
Like we was talking about, and I'm gonna talk on my episode when I do my okra, is that a lot of our ancestors bought like different beans and okra when they was shipped over from Africa, you know.
Yeah.
And they hid it in their hair because they wasn't able to bring anything, but they kept that heritage. And that's why food is so important to me. And also sharing ancestral dishes, because all of the foods originated from somewhere. I'm talking about a long time ago. Before Christ, after Christ, the 1900s, all of that stuff. So every food has a history.
You're right.
And like we eat this part as the bacon, but like in Italy, they eat a part of it which is called bruschetta.
What's that?
It's a type of bacon that they use.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not familiar with that.
Yes, it's thinly sliced, So most people we all have different type of dishes, but they cut different ways or serve different ways.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm big on history. I love history when it comes to food.
So what developed your your love for culinary passion?
That's a great question. You know, I love Danny because he is interviewing me and I love answering questions. How about that? Thank you, Danny. But anyway, so my thing, I'm a fitness trainer.
Okay.
I'm a certified fitness trainer. And so I had my clients coming in, you know, people don't like to work out, but they love to eat.
Mm-hmm.
So they would always ask me, you know, what to eat, how much to eat. Is this good for me? So that was my inspiration to go to culinary school.
Wow.
And so I just didn't want to go to any culinary school. I wanted one that was health supportive.
Thank you.
I went to Natural Government Institute in New York City, and that was where I got my training from. So I did 3 types of certifications. One was cooking for people with illness. So I specialize in people that have heart disease, cancer, diabetes, weight loss on.
Really?
Mm-hmm. And then I went back for culinary nutrition because it's just not about eating, but all you get nutrition factor. And then I went back one more time, and one was, and I got to go back again, but one time I went for vegan bacon. And so some people ask me, why did you choose vegan bacon? Because it's so many other bakers around.
Mm-hmm.
So some people can't eat the butter, the cheese, or different things. So I know how to make desserts for people that have different types of stuff.
Man, that's awesome.
Mm-hmm. So I love that.
The fact that you can, you know, people have certain sensitivities to food and you're able to,
Yes.
you know, cater to those sensitivities.
I'm big on that.
So now I'm going to add the shrimp, and we're going to add that.
What size did you use? Is that a large or jumbo?
That's large.
Large, okay.
Mm-hmm. Shout out to Palmetto State Seafood in Moncks Corner, because that's where I always get my seafood from. So if you're in Moncks Corner, check them out. They hook you up.
And then how about this? We're going to drive from Corner all the way down there to support them.
There you go.
Yeah, I'm saying Danny something. I'm big on supporting small business.
Me too.
Mm-hmm.
Me too.
So I will travel to go.
Now with the shrimp, you don't want to cook it too long because it can develop a rubbery consistency. So normally I'll do no longer than 2 minutes on each side. So while that's cooking, I will add some seasoning. The seasoning is just a mixture of adobo, garlic powder, onion powder, paprika, and black pepper.
And I love how he put that together in the bowl. That's skills right there.
Thank you.
That's some good skills right there. I love it.
I just had a bunch of spices just chilling in the cabinet. I was like, you know what?
Yes.
I had just had this harebrained idea. You know what? Let me see if I can make my own concoction. So that's what I came up with.
So many chefs take and put their seasoning together and sell it on the market. So that's skill. See, I recognize skill too now. That's skill.
Thank you.
And we buy so many other seasons, and all we have to do is use what we have in our pantry. And use what we have in our pantry and just put it together. You know, your favorite seasoning.
That's
and name it Danny's FOXWORTH seasoning right there.
Hey, I like that. You know what? I'll cut you a percentage.
Yes, I'm Danny FOXWORTH seasoning. You got to leave me a little flavor there. And so, what's your favorite food?
My favorite food is seafood.
Seafood, okay.
Pizza is a very close second.
Yes. Okay.
Very close second.
Right, I love that. So I'm a person that I love other nationalities of food. So like Italy, we travel different countries. And that's one of the things I always do. I've trips with around our culinary, cultural history, and fashion. And so we love different foods. So we're on the way to South Africa.
Really?
And Spain in 2025.
Nice.
And then 2026, we're on the way to France and French Riviera.
Damn, so y'all already got it planned out in advance. I love it.
Yes, definitely so. I have invited you to our tasting when we have different tastes for every country we go to. I would love to have you as one of our guests.
I would love to. And I'm just going to add just a little bit of garlic.
Okay. That smells so good.
Yeah. Normally you put the garlic on last so it doesn't burn.
I love the way you're doing that. It's so good. Yeah, you got me with that seasoning. You did that.
Thank you. A lot of trial and error.
Yeah, that's it. You did good with it.
But you got to learn some way.
Yeah. Learn from the best. Like you did a great job. You got it put together.
Thank you. Now I'm going to...
And then here's right, people overcook also shrimp, and they also overcook a lot of times salmon. Pork is another one that a lot of people overcook.
Yeah.
So that's a good skill to know that about the shrimp.
Yeah, I learned the hard way.
That's it. That's what life is, full of lessons,
Yep.
joys, ups and downs.
No losses, only lessons.
No, I love that. I'm used to that.
And now, what we're gonna do is, we're gonna prepare the gravy.
Oh my.
So now, what we're gonna do is, we're gonna add,
Is that enough or you want some more?
it should be. I'm gonna add some heavy cream. Right, thank you.
Yeah, there you go. Give me more, let me get some more.
Okay.
And you know what, shrimp and grits is so popular here in the South, and especially Charleston. I think Charleston is one of the places kind of originated from. But I think I have to do my history because I've researched shrimp and grits.
Add some flour to thicken it.
Okay, so we got cream, all the seasoning and the drippings from that butter.
And I'm gonna add some beef stock to it.
And then nothing some more.
Okay. Yeah.
So how often do you cook shrimp and grits?
It's not often. Normally, it's like either during holidays or celebratory events. So, like when this Mother's Day rolls around, I'll cook it for my mom, and Father's Day comes around, I'll cook it for my dad.
Yeah. And that's when I've been talking to you even before we went on set. You seem to have a great relationship with your mom and dad.
I do. I talk to them every day. When I head to work, I pass them when they're walking.
Yeah. Oh, I love it. That's amazing, guys. So if you have a bad relationship with your parents, go ahead and fix it now. Danny said something. That is so important. We try to have a good relationship with our children also.
Absolutely. Got to.
Yeah. That's great.
Thank you.
Danny did this, y'all. That's shrimp and grits.
And the thing that really let me know that I was on the right track was a couple of years ago, we had a big get together over the holidays where we had a lot of family over at my parents' house. And instead of doing it dinner style, we did like a brunch style.
Yes.
And I was in charge of the shrimp and grits. And one of my cousins named Marshall, he actually is from the Low Country originally, but he moved to New York when he was like 9 years old, and he's been there ever since. But when he came back, first thing he tried, everybody was in line getting their food, and he got the shrimp and grits. And he sat down right in front of me, and he took the first bite, and he just had this big Cheshire cat grin. He's shaking his head and looking down at it, pointing at it, and looking at me. He said, "This tastes like home."
I'm telling you.
He said, "This tastes like home." He said, "It tastes just like the gravy my grandma Zella used to make when she would cook squirrel."
God,
and on the outside, I'm like, "I'm glad you like it." On the inside, I'm like, "Yes."
You know when we do good things, it's okay to be proud of ourselves.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If we don't toot our own horn, who else?
But
I love it.
But the thing that really got me though was while I was in the middle of eating my food after he paid me that compliment, I got to thinking, this is the same shrimp and grits that my Uncle Carl prepared for me, and then I prepared it for him.
Yes.
They're on opposite sides of the family. They have no idea who they are, but the fact that something as small as a plate of shrimp and grits ended up being the connective tissue to both sides of the family, that was hard for me to digest at that table. I had to excuse myself, and I kid you not, Chef, I went in the bathroom, I cried for like 5 minutes straight.
Yes. That's what we want. This is what the At the Table with Chef Jay is about. It's about sharing those memories and showing how much we love each other through food. I love that.
Yeah.
That's a great story. Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah, that was a moment.
I love it. Okay, great. Okay, so tell us about you, what you do, how we can find you, how we can follow you, anything you want to tell about yourself we'd like for you to share.
Okay, well, I do a baseball podcast called At the Plate with Danny FOXWORTH, and there I talk to like-minded folks, mainly like-minded black folks about baseball and their favorite teams. And then I have a second podcast called Since We Last Spoke with Danny FOXWORTH, and on that one, it's a whole bunch of different topics. Like I talked about my colonoscopy procedure. I talked about dealing with grief, losing loved ones. I do like tournament-themed episodes. I had a French fries tournament episode, like different fast food restaurant French fries, and we did a snack chips tournament episode. I'm in the works of doing a chain restaurant bread tournament episode. So look out for that. That's coming soon.
Love it. So tell us the 2 YouTube channels. You have YouTube, right?
I have YouTube, and you can find all of the video episodes of all of those podcasts on my YouTube channel, which is at Danny Foxworth 843. And also, I have a third podcast about to come out called Growing Up Low Country with Liz and Danny, and that one is with my absolute longest tenured childhood friend, and we're just going to discuss. Well, this is self-explanatory, and it's in the title. We talk about growing up low country. Yeah, so I'm looking forward to that one. That one is going to come out early in August.
Okay, good. Well, you let me know. We'll follow you and everything.
All right.
And how can we follow you on Instagram? Are you on Instagram?
I am. You can follow me on Instagram at Danny Foxworth 843.
How about Facebook? You on Facebook?
I'm on Facebook at Danny Foxworth.
I love it. So all you got to do is put in Danny Foxworth, and you'll find all of his information.
Yep, just try not to make it hard for people to find.
That's it. I love it.
I ain't hard to find.
I love it. Okay, well, we definitely want to support you, and we thank you. And we look forward to seeing them shrimp and grits at the table.
Yes, thank you.
Welcome back. We're sitting with Danny Foxworth. Before we try your dish, what does food and family mean to you?
Food and family to me is extremely important. It's communal. It's intentional. You know, it's like we all gather. You know, we may not have seen each other in quite some time, but when we all sit, you know, there's no phones around, and we just sit and talk with each other about what's going on in our lives, you know, what's going on in the world, and it's a very very delicious and very enriching conversation to go with on top of the delicious food.
I love that. Well, I tell you what, Danny did an amazing job with the shrimp and grits, and now he done crumb a little bacon on top. Okay, so we're gonna try it out along with some of our white wine. So here we go. I'm gonna let you know what it's like. Okay. We even throw a little rosemary to give it a little design on it.
There you go.
The grits are nice and creamy. And just let me get a little bacon with that shrimp. I like that size shrimp that you use also.
Thank you.
That bacon. You know how to throw the mic down?
Thank you.
Well, you know, the bacon is very smoky and delicious. I like that. And give it that crumble on top, and it just took it to a whole nother level. Because a lot of times when people cook the bacon is inside, I like it crumble on top. So I'm tell you what, my husband, I know he's gonna enjoy this shrimp and grits. That's his favorite. So I want you to tell us a little bit more about what you want us to know about you while I try another thing.
Well, I'm born in Charleston, South Carolina, raised in Moncks Corner. You know, just a regular old country kid, you know, trying to forge his path in the world. You know, I had a passion for podcasting, and I just took the steps, and now I'm out there podcasting.
I love it.
Thank you.
And I love your podcast.
Thank you.
I love your podcast. So make sure we follow Danny, and tell us again where to follow you at.
You can follow me on IG at Danny Foxworth 843, and you can follow me on Facebook at Danny Foxworth. And you can follow my YouTube channel, which is also at Danny Foxworth 843.
And thank you, Dan, for coming. He came a whole hour and a half from Moncks Corner just to be on our show and podcast, and we thank you for that.
I mean, why wouldn't I?
We're honored to have you on here. And
thank you.
Keep doing
Thank you for
amazing
having me.
things for our community.
Thank you.
That wraps up another episode of At the Table with Chef Jay. I hope you enjoyed this journey through the flavors and memories as much as I did. If your taste buds are tingling and your heart is full, there's more to come. But before we say goodbye, don't forget to show some love, hit the like button, share the joy with your friends and family, and of course, subscribe.